Hey guys, it's Poverty the Bitch, and welcome to the next one. I covered just the basics in the last one. I just don't feel like it was necessary or I don't feel that it was enough to leave you guys hanging for 2 weeks. So I did a little bit more, and I found out for the KB hit it was conio.h. I've messed with my systems a little just to try to make sure that the rendering is good enough, and it's barely readable. So I apologize if the letters are all blurry, but before I compress it, before I compile it, it's all clear, it's all beautiful. So I need to look into a better video recorder or a video editor. Video recorder is perfect. Video editor is the problem. So, I want to continue on about the game engine. So, I want to show what the do while KB hit does. And it does just jack shit while it waits for you to hit a single key. So I'm compiling, went just fine. Let's run it. Hello world. And it's basically just waiting for me to hit a key. Lovely. So what is all this other stuff I've got in here? Well, I defined a counter, and in that counter I defined it as 0. It's going to increase by 1 if counter is greater than or equal to 1,000. Reset it down to 0. This way we don't have a runaway number. C out the number, and this is returned to the beginning of the line, not new line. So I could not find this C++ version for it. It's something like, I was thinking of something like begin L for begin line, but meh. So basically it's going to be counting it off, returning to the beginning, and continuing to count. Let's add another 0 in there. Let's add a 9. So, what I'm showing here is it opens up the main application. Let's get creative. Welcome to the new game. So clever, I know. Why don't we just keep getting more creative? I believe I can actually do this and be like, come on, version 0.0.0.1. There we go. And then so I think I can do that. Yep, it's acceptable. So, here's the new start. Let's do another. Yep. So we're going to get a space in between this. I can get creative. I can make this all textual. Again, hiccups while talking. Jesus. Moving on. So the counter counts up to 1,000, and it'll keep doing it until there's a keyboard stroke. So the keyboard stroke, the single key stroke, will basically end the game. So this will be the game engine itself. This is entering into the application, and this is going to be exiting out of the application. So with that done, let's do this. So there you go. So what this shows is it's not locked up. When I first started programming, like you'd get cin or something, and it would literally lock up the system, and everything would be waiting for a keyboard command. And it was I don't know, 1970s style coding. So this is showing that there you go. The computer is continuing to run while it's waiting for a keyboard stroke, and there you go. So what can we do with this? To me, this took me think 3 years before I came across this and discovered the power of it. What we can do is, once you get a keyboard stroke, you can then do a we need to double this up, is what happens. So we need to do another do while loop. The inner one will be keyboard hit. The next one on the outer one will test what we typed. So we could actually type in an entire sentence here and then hit enter, and when the test receives a enter key, it will spit that line out to test what we just typed to see what it is, and then run whatever application or algorithm, class, whatever, based on that. So this is the very beginning. So this is absolutely the beginning setup. I wonder if this works. Tab. Oh, beautiful. Alright. So I want to do another do. Stop that. And I prefer it this way, with the words at the beginning. A lot of people will put the curly bracket below it. I hate that. I just want words. So I can just look along the words and be like, oh, okay, this is where it is. Everyone has a different preference. And this one, swing, lovely. It shows me where it lights up. So everything's on the inside, so what we want to do is, come on, you can, that's just, I'm just getting used to the graphical user interface here. Yes, while. Going to do that, give me apostrophe at the end. Let us define a few things, shall we? Another int. Let's do all caps. Equals. False will be 0. I could just go with a boolean. It's a boolean if it's 1 or 0. So let's set quit to 0. Do this while quit not equal. Do this while this equals 0. So while it equals 0, and that's the number 0, not the character 0. Let's do char 0, and single quotes is a character, equals single quote. And then if we want to quit, we'll want to do let's see, so I feel like I'm boring you with the details here. I need a way to capture this. So when I get done capturing it, I want to test it. If it equals quit. So this one, so this is the game engine loop, and this one, so you know, we could have things here like draw the screen, and then we could have check for server messages, and then we could be server messages. What else? There'd be a pacing thing. We'd want checking time. Check time. Check time. And then we get back into it. So, you know, this is... Actually, that stuff would probably have to be on the inside. Yeah, you get the idea. This would be like... initialize? Now things would be initialized up here. It's been a while. It's been 5 years since I've actually been doing game programming, so I'm a little rusty, so I apologize about that. I am not the best person out there, obviously, but I would like to believe that what I do know is valid, so I want to just pass it on. So, yeah, it picks up that, I believe it picks up that character. KP hit, while KP hits. You should automatically deposit it into a C in to, and I actually need to do C quits. So I am now, actually it'd be CH. It's been a while. So CH on the beginning is character, and it's the word quit. CH quit, and then this needs to be CH quit. And I don't remember how to set it for a single character as opposed to a string. But anyways, that should do the trick. Well, CH quit equals 0. So any other key will exit it. Let's give this a try. It worked, and hopefully this does not. So LP. So you see this here. So basically it's So let's go ahead and see out. Let's see what that gave us. CH quit. I think it may be char quit. Character. Anyways. And line. And this one will put the cursor back at the beginning of the line and one line down. So let's give that a try, shall we? So, I press 0. Click. 1. There we go. Lovely. One more time. Let's say, hello world. Yeah, so all it is it spits out the very first one. Oddly enough, there is all the other letters stored in a buffer, and it's waiting to be thrown into the next CN. So it's it's a little confusing, but yeah, that's one thing. So there you go. So what needs to happen is that it grabs a character, tests the character, and then if it's not, it tests the character, it adds it to the string, and if it's not an enter key, then it will continue to stack up the words. So anyways, this is the beginning of the game engine. So within here, you pull it in, test if it's an enter key, and there's two of them on the keyboard. There's a normal enter, and then there's the return over on the number pad. And you can set it to be whatever, you know, tab or space or whatever. For me, I'm going to have enter as the thing. There'll later be a command line. It's probably should have it. Too many thoughts. Anyways, there'll be a command line function that we forgot the end. There'll be a command line function which will send off that string to it, and it will be a test, and it will be long because all it does is it keeps checking to see, compare the string that we send out to other words. And if it doesn't get it, there's going to be a default one that says, I didn't understand that command, please type it again. So, yeah, this is the beginning. So, this would set back. Oh, that's a cool feature. We would set this back to a global default to see if it's true or false. Because, we could type in the word quit, and it goes to the command line function, and if it equals quit, then it sets this value to true as a 1, and then it would just break out of this loop. Then it'd get back to the menu. And then from there, hell, we could have a little thing down here that says, when it comes out, we can say, hey, save. Save it, and then it goes back into the menu loop saying, hey, do you want to load? Do you want to start a new game? Do you want to quit? So this is the beginning of the game engine. So there's a lot more to go, but I thought I would introduce this. So this is the game engine, and hopefully you guys can have a good time just playing with this. This stuff. Meh. Love how that just disappears. This stuff needs to be more. This would be the intro. So, and I put in notes because a lot of times I'll come back to it and I'm like, what was I thinking? So intro starts here. Yeah, tons and tons of things to teach. But for now, we got the intro. This is where once the game, come on, computer. Initialize. So once you you could do start new character, intro, and then from there you initialize the game, and then from there it starts. So this is the beginning of a game engine. So that I feel is extremely useful, very helpful, and from there you can actually just dive in and start doing your own little text game. I know a lot of people don't care about text games, but you got to start somewhere. And programming, like the Hello World, if you want to compare it to life, Hello World is just a protein floating around in the ocean. It doesn't do anything. It can do something, but it's not powerful by itself. This is the beginning of life. This is a single-celled organism. We just started it. So that's the beginning, and from here what we do is just keep growing it, and more we work on it, more we grow this organism, and whatever it happens to be, whatever we want it to be. So we are almost like gods. Well, for computing, we are. We made computers, we program them, etc., etc., etc. So anyways, this is like starting a creation, your own little world. So, yeah, most MMOs take 33,000 hours, and if you sit down and actually figure that out, I was able to do like 300 to 500 a year, as high as 600 hours. So let's just, let's say 350. Well, that's almost, you could divide that in your head. So I divide by 350 hours. I could put in a year, my weekends, my time off, everything else. There you go. To make your own MMO would take 94 years. So you really do need a crew, and when it comes to game programming, you just got to start somewhere. And text games are the easiest. This is the best place to hone your skills. Now let's say that you're dedicated. You got a full-time job, and during the week you can put in like 1 hour, 2 hours a day. So let's just average that out to be like 1.5 times 5. So 7.5 hours, and let's say that you got a busy weekend, but you can put in like 5 hours each day on Saturday and Sunday, or maybe 10 hours on Saturday or 10 hours on Sunday, and the other one keeps you busy. So 17 hours. 17 and a half hours. And that's per week. And that's rather rigorous. And at that point, you can see that it'll only take you 36 years to make your own MMO, assuming you've got the tools and your equipment and everything else. So it's a major investment to actually make an MMO. So you got to start somewhere, and I'm just going to show you how to start. It's up to you to continue on finding a crew, finding the budget to actually continue and build a game. So it's going to be a while before I actually get into graphics, but for now, we've got the game engine. It started. And I'm going to leave it up to you to polish it out. Next recording, probably going to be in a week or 2 weeks, I will have built this up a bit. So there'll be other things that I will need to teach, but for now, there's the game engine. This has been Poverty's a Bitch on game programming. Thank you for watching.